Dun, 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 dun. Race Spec Esports. There it is. Fantastic. So that didn't take too long at all. That's good to see. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 2 of the Race Spec Esports PS4 America Series. It's time for the British Grand Prix here at the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. 3.68 mile, 18 turn racetrack, one of the most legendary in the world. Former RAF airfield has one of the most fantastic list of infamous corners in the world of Formula One. Corners like Copse, Maggots, Beckett, Stowe. You know, some really challenging parts of the racetrack. Drivers have to be incredibly careful, particularly in wet conditions, which it just might be looking at the overcast conditions in qualifying. Particularly corners like Copse and Stowe, I've noticed in the wet conditions they become incredibly terrifying. Same with turns 1 and 2. In the dry it's not too bad. It's a very fast flowing racetrack. You have to be very much on your toes. You have to push to the limits. It's a track that tests every fibre of a driver's being and every part of the Formula One car. At currently 14.5 minutes into the session, KD will be the first driver to set a flying lap, I believe. Making his way through Stowe, heading towards the Vale chicane. Very nicely there, 3rd gear, 4th gear, 5th gear, round the final corner of Club, crossing the line to do a 24.5. Pretty nice banker lap time. From Tier 1 Pacific, times were in the low 24s, mid 23s, so we'll see what these guys can do. Alp does a 25.2, Captain Schmeck 25.6, Hildebeest 25.3, Laquito did a 26.1, so no one's has been able to crack into the 24s quite just yet, other than KD. As Snooker has just joined the session, so we'll have an 18 car field, which isn't too bad at all. It's not a full grid, but it's pretty damn close to it, so hopefully we'll get a pretty decent race. As Doberman has just dropped out of the session, the McLaren driver currently sitting 10th with a 30.2. Seffi has joined, there we go. Lakeshore on a flying lap, taking on a guided tour of the racetrack, coming through Brooklands into Luffield. Turn number 7, it's an incredibly important corner. If you get this right, then basically you have nailed Sector 2. As Copse corner, this corner right here taken absolutely flat out, and the majority of the S's coming up as well are taken flat out. Maggots, then into Beckett's, and braking for a little bit for Chapel. It's not a lot. So for sure, the most important corner in the second sector is Luffield at turn 7. It's a critical traction zone. This is where the majority of the overtaking will take place, is at Stowe, turn 15. Drivers will have to be incredibly careful of the pit entry, with the pit speed limiter set at 60 kilometers an hour. It's incredibly slow. Lakeshore is going to be held up here by the Red Bull of Niru. But Lakeshore does a 25.5. Currently a second off the pace of our current pole sitter. Sully rather has validated. Gentleman Seth on a flying lap. Coming down the Wellington Straight. Around Brooklands. Then into Luffield. Again, very important traction zone. Hopefully people have got the link to the stream, I would hope. For some reason it hasn't shared it, don't know why. Just post that in there. Been up for ages anyway. Just a Discord bot, I guess, not really doing its job, but that's okay. That's Mr. Steph heading around. Oh, dearie me, going around Stowe. Went a little bit too wide at the entry. He put a wheel onto the grass and he wasn't able to take the apex at all. He's going to come across the line to set a 28.1, jump up to 12th place. Sefi, he's switched it to 0 ERS, so he's not on a flyer. JSD on an outlap. Snake and Beans, are you on a flyer? No, he's coming into the pit, so he was on an in-lap. Mr. Alpoom, what are you up to? Coming through onto the old pit straight at Silverstone. This track has gone under many different configurations. This is, I believe, the longest at 3.68 miles. Or 5.89 kilometers. But I do remember in about the late 50s, I think, or early 60s, they had a layout which utilized the runways that used to exist on this racetrack, as this was an RAF airfield. I'm not quite sure if that was longer than this layout. Alpine, that is an incredibly interesting run through the Vale chicane to begin a lap. Very, very different indeed. Coming through Abbey, then through turn 2, 8th gear, absolutely flat out in the dry, not in the wet, I can assure you. Around Village, then the loop. Critical traction zone coming out of there. Flat out through Aintree. The DRS open onto the Wellington Straight, a yellow flag. Car has stopped. That's Sully on the inside there. Through Brooklands, then Luffield. You see a lot of the quick drivers do that, take a very narrow entry through Luffield. They don't try and open up the corner at all. Oh, very narrow around Woodcote. Now Cops Corner, absolutely flat out. Missed the apex though by some margin. He kept it flat. He only would have lost maybe a tenth of a second through there. Maggots, Beckett's, oh, there's a Renault on the inside. That would have been a bit distracting. Through Chapel. Then onto the Hangar Straight, DRS open again, Purple to the second sector, but he's only up by a tenth and a half. That's not going to be enough to try and take pole position away from KD. Round Stowe, drivers have to be careful with the track limits there at the exit of Stowe. Stewards will be keeping an eye on that. Around Vale, an awkward run through the chicane, around Club Corner, it's a 1 minute 24.8, he does improve, but it's not pole position time. He's still almost 4 tenths off the pace. The man currently on pole is improving. He's up by a tenth of a second in the second sector. See what he can do in the third. Around Vale. Somewhat nicer run compared to SWM Alp. Crossing the line, he does improve. 1 minute 24.428. So Alpine, and a lot of these drivers have got a lot of work to do. Captain Schmidt currently in third place. The Haas drivers looking strong. Currently claiming the second row to themselves. There's still plenty of time left in the session. Around Village, then the loop, Hildebeest. Using 4th gear, 5th gear, 6th gear at the exit there. Really short shifting through there. I don't tend to do that, but he's up by a tenth and a half, almost a tenth and a half. But by doing that, you minimize the risk of wheel spin, which will cost you a lot of time. Round Woodcote. Now into Cops Corner. See if he can get this right. Pretty bang on there. Just clipping the inside curve at the apex of turn 9. Then Maggots, Beckett's. Then Chapel. Invalidates there. I've seen that a few times in my time as a driver and as a commentator. It's cutting a bit too much in the high-speed S's, and the game penalises you for that. Snooker has rejoined the session. So we should be getting 19 drivers then for this race. Lake Show. Oh, and Hildebeest, hello. Severe collision. Oh, that's in the pit lane. So coming into the pits, he's collided with the back of JST, the Alfa Romeo. He's given himself a 5 grid place penalty, which he will have to serve. Kimi has invalidated. What about Flavius? Not quite sure. Is he on a flyer or on an in-lap? I think an in-lap, using 5th gear around Luffield. Quite an interesting technique. If he was on a flyer. Snake and Beans coming through. Oh my words! Well, certainly coming through. He completely skipped the damn thing. Had a massive error there. Fortunately, he caught his mistake. Didn't crash out of the session, but he'll most likely be coming into the pits. Probably wait till the end of the session to set his final flying lap time. Ferrari pulled off to the side of the racetrack. Seffi coming through Maggots and Beckett's. This is where the Renault just prior went off. A lot more controlled. From Seffi, opens DRS. JST has retired from the session in the pit lane. He will not be improving. Best he can hope for is P12. Round Stowe. Not bad from Seffi. Going through the Val chicane. 2nd gear. 3rd gear. 4th gear. Round club corner. Up and towards the line. 1 minute 25.1. He jumps to 3rd place. About 2.5 tenths down on SWM Alp. Saw there. AlphaTauri just pulling off to the side of the racetrack. That was Gentleman Seth, so he must have retired on the racetrack. SWM Bean in the Alfa Romeo. Just a bit over 3.5 minutes left in the session, and he's on the medium tyre. His current best lap time was on the softs, but he's on the mediums. Can he improve? He has to be to 125.6. Round Aintree onto the Wellington Straight. Heading towards Brooklyn. Sector 1 split says he's up by 2 tenths. But he needs to keep this momentum over the course of the lap. Around Luffield. Looking pretty tidy at the moment through Woodcote. Now Copse Corner. No trouble at the moment. He's hitting his marks. Maggots. Beckett's. There's the Haas driver. I think that is Hildebeest, who has got a 5 grid place penalty. Sully has retired on track, I believe. That is a Ferrari just sort of sitting there at Chapel. There's Hildebeest getting out of the way. Around Stowe. Now the final 3 corners on the track. The Vale chicane. It is marked pretty well. Around Club Corner. It's going to be a 1:24.8. He jumps to P2. So he's more or less cemented himself inside the top 10, and he'll be starting on the medium compound. The tyre strategy around here at Silverstone, it's a soft medium or a medium soft strategy. Pulling off to the side of the racetrack now, Bean, just to try and let everyone else through. Now, by starting on the medium tyres, sort of you run the risk, if you don't have enough confidence in yourself and your own skill, if you don't quite have the pace compared to the people around you, you can get swallowed up by the soft runners. As KD goes purple to the first sector. By starting on the soft tyres, like most people would, you sort of stay, well, you can try and stay with the leaders. It's incredibly important that you stay with the leaders, because what tends to happen around Silverstone is that trains start to form. Not a bad run there from KD. really pushing the limits of the racetrack. But yeah, so trains will start to form. If you fall outside of those trains, unless there's a safety car, it's incredibly difficult to try and get yourself back into them. SWML jumps up to pole position now with a 24.3. KD though, he's improved by a tenth of a second at the second sector split. Let's see what he can do in the final. Or was he held up a little bit there from Lake Show? I'm not sure. Around club corner to end the lap. What does he do? It's a 24.2. He improves by a tenth and a half and reclaims pole. But there's still enough time left in the session for someone to snag it away. Hildebeest in third. He will drop down to P8 because of his grid place penalty. Seffi desperately trying to make his way round to try and start his final flying lap. There's a Renault in front. Can't quite tell who that is, unfortunately. It's either Snake and Beans or a Goose Gamer. It's a Goose. Let's have a look here. Who would I think would challenge for pole? Surely Seffi can claim a few more positions. He was quite strong in Austria. We'll see if he can carry that sort of form here at Silverstone. See what the sector 1 sector split says. He's up by half a tenth of a second. Needs to keep up that momentum. He needs to improve by 3/10 of a second. Oh, and he invalidates. And in his frustration has decided to crash himself out of qualifying. So I don't think anyone else will be challenging for pole. Lake Show has invalidated. Kimi. He's coming towards the end of his lap. Around the Vale chicane. And then club corner. It's going to be a good time. It's a 24.8. Jumps up to 5th place. What about a Goose Gamer? He's still on the flyer? No. He's peeling off to the side of the road. His qualifying is... oh dear. Just sort of abruptly turned left there. But that's more or less qualifying done and dusted. It is KD 1997 on pole position with SWM Alp in P2. Hildebeest, a good qualifying performance, puts him in third, but a 5 grid place penalty will mean he will start from 8th. Bean, a fantastic qualifying from him as well. 4th place, and he did that lap on the medium compound as well. So he'll be starting in third on the alternate strategy. It'll be interesting to see how he pans himself out in this race. But we're just waiting on a Goose Gamer to do something. I don't know. He's the only driver we're waiting on. He's out of fuel. Not quite sure why he just hasn't retired from the session. Anyhow. There we go. Times aren't quite as quick as what I saw in the Pacific tier, but they're definitely up there. Those low 24 times from KD and Alp. Very high quality indeed. Are we seriously going to wait until the session ends? Okay. But now for the race itself. From what I saw, I don't think there's any rain for the race. So we don't need to worry about that. And there we go. Qualifying done and dusted. Alrighty. So, from qualifying, KD will start on pole, Alp in second. Hildebeest will start from 8th after qualifying third. Actually, there's another penalty there. Who is that? That's JC. He's got a penalty as well, and he'll be starting from 18th. So Beam will start from 3rd, Kimi from 4th, Seffi from 5th, Captain Schmeg in 6th, Lake Show in 7th, Laquito in 8th, Flavius in 9th, and Nick. Oh, sorry, no. It will be Hildebeest in 8th, Liquito in 9th and Flavius in P10. I just often see drivers get a 5 grid place penalty and then drop outside the top 10. But no, not in this case. He actually stays inside the top 10. Alrighty. Overcast. Interesting. Not always a good sign for the drivers. There might be rain on its way. If not, we'll just see a straightforward soft to medium stint race. It will only be a one stop. A safety car will definitely shake things up. I'm not sure what the hard compound tyre is like around here. I haven't personally used it, and I haven't seen anyone else really use it successfully. So it's sort of a, if you crash on lap 1, you might as well go onto the hard tyre. That's what it seems like with that particular compound. We'll see what everyone has decided to go with for the start of this race. Most of the top 10 will be starting on the softs, except for Bean. He'll be starting on the medium compound. Just be waiting on Liquito to, there we go, load into the session. So formation lap begins. There we go. All of the top 10 except for Bean starting on the soft compound tyre. Outside of it though, Snake and Bean starting from 11th place will be on the medium. Same with Auguste Gamer. So the Renaults are on the same page more or less. The same strategy. Gentleman Seth in 13th. Also on the medium compound, as Doberman just got smacked in the rear by Snooker at turn number 3. Doberman from 14th place starting on the soft compound. He'll be hoping to make up some positions earlier on, and also by starting on the softs it gives you a little bit of flexibility if you get damage early on. Detail in 15th place has decided to take a gamble and put on the hard compound. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how he goes in this race. He'll be significantly slower than those around him. A bit of a sitting duck, really. Snooker, 16th, starting on the soft compound. Same with JST after his penalty. He actually got demoted to 17th place, not 18th. Sully in 18th, starting on the soft compound. And Sefi, 19th. Wait a minute. What? Why is... Oh, is that glitch where you join mid-session and you don't actually get your qualifying times recorded? I had that happen to me at Circuit Paul Ricard last season for Race Spec in Tier 3. Where I joined late and I was only able to get one flying lap in. And I managed to qualify, I think it was like 12th or something. But I got put in last place, which I think it was 18th. And he is really warming up his tyres, isn't he? He's just sort of wasting our time, more or less. There's absolutely no need to go this slowly. But, oh yes, and because of the lack of warmth in your tyres, you have spun out at Stowe, and they're going to be in an absolute mess for when you line up on the grid. Dearie me. But yeah, I have seen this sort of glitch before, and this is just worse because he qualified 5th, if I remember correctly, and he's down in 19th. And I'm not even sure if they'll be scrub tyres as well. I'm not sure. Anywho. Let's see how this pans out, shall we? Everyone's lined up. Everyone's good to go. Just be waiting on the game to save. It's taking its time. Uh-oh. Well, that's fantastic. You know, we had a great race last night in Pacific Tier. It was fantastic to watch. And now Codemasters is just reminding us how rubbish this game really is. Everyone stopped on the grid. Probably need a lobby restart. Probably. Yeah, this doesn't look like it's getting resolved anytime soon. Oh, hang on. Laquito has left. We have 5 red lights, and it's lights out and away we go, but I'm not sure if this will be the legitimate start to this race or there will be a lobby reset. But anyway, here we go through turn 1 and lap 1 shenanigans. Here we go. There's a massive crash at turn 1 as you'd expect, and a safety car has been deployed already. So a bit of a messy start. A 5-second penalty for Hildebeest, a severe collision there that he will have to serve. But you typically see this at Silverstone where drivers going 2 or 3 wide through turn 1, and typically there's an accident. Sometimes you don't get to see it, but today we do get to see it. And the safety car has been deployed. So that won't hurt Laquito as much if he is able to rejoin the session. And Sefi has climbed all the way up to 9th place from 19th on the grid. What an absolute start he's had. Up 10 positions. Not even half the lap has been completed and he's inside the top 10. Guess it shows you what happened at turn 1, but he does have a colossal amount of wing damage. He will have to pit, get that replaced. He'd probably go onto the hard tyre, I imagine, try and go to the end. Be a hard fight, but he might be able to do it. Towards the front of the field, I don't think these guys will box. Oh, hang on, Alpum is. From 2nd place, does he have damage? I'm not sure, but he's boxing. There's Sefi. He's boxing as well. A few drivers will to get their front wings replaced. You can see what the Ferrari garage are up to. Onto the hard tyre, no damage, so this is a strategic call from Alpum. Electing to box now. Effectively turning this race into a no stop for him. Sefi, Flavia, Snake and Beans as well. Getting their front wings replaced. Big damage there on the Renault. Away he goes. Fortunately, with the safety car being out, he won't lose a great deal of time, but he's got a lot of work to do to gain those positions back. So current top 3, KD, Captain Schmeg and SMM Bean. Captain Schmeg up 3 positions, not a bad start. Niru Nix in P5 up 5 positions. Hildebeest up 1, but with a 5-second time penalty, the only penalty so far dished out in the race. Laquito in 7th, Lake Show in 8th, Doberman in 9th, Gentleman Seth rounding out the top 10. What's going on here? Oh, what's happening here? What's up with Laquito's car? Oh, dearie me. Laquito's car is jumping all over the place. You can see that there. Right on board with him. Oh my dearie me. Currently, Laquito is teleporting through space and time. And it seems that now... Oh, no. Oh, no. What's this? Severe collision penalties. JC, August Gamer, and Alpum. All of them penalties. 5 seconds apiece. You see some funky stuff on the safety car. You know, just drive slowly. You know, give each other a bit of space. No, just bang into each other and give each other some penalties. That's always fun. What is this? Going so unbelievably slowly through Village. Kimi, now a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow. What? What? Oh no. Oh, Codemasters. I hope and pray that because EA have bought you, that you can finally fix some of this stuff in future games. What the... all you can do is laugh in this sort of scenario because... Oh, it's just amazing, really. What a fascinating set of circumstances this is. Oh, he's in third. Now he's back in fourth. Oh no. I think the safety car might be in this lap and then we can get back to proper green flag racing. And Laquito, oh man. And KD is keeping up with the safety car for some reason. He really shouldn't do that. He's just going to hold himself up. And that's precisely what he's doing. He'll get to decide when to go. And he goes now. Oh, Captain Schmeck completely overshot Vale. It's a shocking restart for the Haas driver, but it's KD who leads the way. Captain Schmeck in second. Laquito maybe in third place, I don't know. Bean in fourth. Kimi in fifth. Nira Nix in sixth. Hildebeest in seventh, all over the back of the Red Bull. Doberman in ninth. Is this an AI? I think it... Oh, I don't know if this is an AI. He is ghosting, so I think he is. Oh, dearie me, what's this? Oh, God. Where to look? Where to look? What's Laquito up to? Where is he? I can't tell where he is. Oh, and he's jumped up to ninth place again. Oh, my goodness me. Side by side go Flavius and Detail through Cop's corner. They're still side by side heading towards the high speed S's. That's Laquito off the road, and Alpoom wing and cost him a lot of time. Perhaps it wasn't a good idea to box. Seffi is now magically teleported back up to 12th. Laquito up to 9th even, sorry. I've got the two Williams confused. Laquito up to 9th from last, but half a lap ago. Oh boy. Hildebeest on the attack, heading up the Wellington Straight towards Brooklands. Not quite close enough to attack the Red Bull just yet, but the Red Bull runs wide into left field. There's a small opening. Hildebeest can't get into the gap though. Stays in P6. They're heading around Cop's corner. Oh, that will probably be a warning, knowing how brutal this game can be. And what's happened here? Flavius and Detail having a moment at Luffield. They both rejoin the track. They get going again. Deary me. What's going on back here? Nixon, Hildebeest down the inside. They're still side by side. DRS has been enabled. Hildebeest all over the back of the Red Bull, looking left and right. Then there's Lake Show. Also on the back of this too. Laquito, oh my word. Not sure what's happening to that Williams, but it's teleporting absolutely everywhere. Hildebeest right on the back. He's got DRS now. He's ready to pounce. There's Sector 1 yellow flags. JSD running a little wide as Hildebeest. But Nero holding his own for now. Keeping the Haas and the Mercedes at bay. Kemi's now side by side with Bean into Beckett. Oh, that could have been really nasty. They made a little bit of contact at Maggots. I think that might have thrown Bean off the racetrack. I'm not sure. Oh, wow, that was incredibly close stuff. So is this side by side. Down the hangar straight. Hildebeest around the outside. Tries to make it stick, but can't. Heading towards Vale down the inside. Can he get it done? Yes, he can. Into 5th place now. And then Nero will have DRS coming on to the Wellington Straight. What a fascinating race with Laquito having a bit of internet troubles. Everyone else seems relatively okay. Laquito is actually into the pits, apparently. Yes, he is in the pits. Around Brooklands go this trio. What's going on back here? Seffi and Gentleman Seth having a scrap. Laquito has elected to retire from the session. That's probably a wise thing to do. After seeing what happened with him under the safety car in the following laps. Yeah, there's definitely something wrong with his internet. Not much going on at the moment. Here comes Lake Show on the attack. Weaving left and right. Trying to fill the mirrors of the Red Bull. Round Stowe. Still right on the back of him, but isn't really able to attack just yet. Seffi on the back of Doberman, ghosting through Doberman. I believe Doberman is still in AI mode. Lake Show still on the back of Nix. He gets a good exit. DRS open. He's not quite close enough, is he? No, he's not. And Hildebeest is pulling away from these two now. Not quite in a position to battle just yet. Captain Schmeg only 1.8 seconds behind. He hasn't completely fallen away from KD. It's a big positive. He's still there or thereabouts. Kimi 2.7 seconds behind Captain Schmeg. SWM Bean on the medium tyre is looking like he's in a very, very good position. He'd be incredibly quick right at the end of the race. And the guys in front will have a hard time holding him at bay. Nixon Lake Show still scrapping. Down the Hamilton Straight, the newly dubbed Hamilton Straight, into Abbey. Round turn 2. Again, Lake Show isn't quite close enough to attack, and that is a clumsy warning, I must say. Cut way too much at turn 3. He'd be kicking himself with that. He had no real need to cut that much of the corner. gap's starting to really spread out. No real trains forming. Seth, he's just going to drive through Doberman, most likely. Doberman's still yet to rejoin the session. Out. 3-second time penalty, down in 16th place. Just outside of the point scoring positions as the top 15 in this championship score points. And into the pits goes KD. Lake Show and Nick still attacking each other. Neither of them box. Oh, very close stuff. Now through club corner. Oh, that's an interesting penalty there. I didn't think he cut that much, but obviously he did. KD also going onto the medium tyres with his pit stop. Down the inside, into Village. They're side by side still, into the loop, turn 4. No contact, they keep it clean, and Lake Show comes out on top, and he'll get DRS as well. Nick sits in the slipstream. Not really able to counter-attack. He outbrakes himself a little bit though. Brooklands loses a little bit of time. Lake Show runs wide and cuts a bit too much when turning in at the exit of Luffield. Through Cops Corner. Seth still trailing Doberman. I'm still pretty sure that's an AI. He's still ghosting, so pretty sure that's an AI. Nix has fallen away up from Lake Show just a little bit, as Kimmy and Captain Schmeg are now in the pits, and Nix follows as well. Pulls himself up, doesn't get a penalty. That means Bean will now lead the way. Oh, and look. What's with the length and pit stop for Kimmy? That was a long stop. At least it seemed like a very long stop. That gap has definitely increased to over 2 seconds. It was a bit over 2 seconds before the pit stops. That's now increased to about 7 or so. 6.2, there you go. Deary me. Something's happened to Kimmy in that pit stop. He lost a fair amount of time. I don't think that was a wing change either. Hildebeest now a 3-second time penalty. Multiple warnings. Very easy to do, particularly at the high speed S's in the second sector. And also turn 1. Turn 1 sort of sucks you in towards the apex. And if you're not careful, you can run all 4 wheels over the white line. And now KD, pole sitter and former race leader, now has to make his way through traffic. Snake and Beans is the first driver he has to tackle down the inside at Stowe. Gets him with ease. August Gamer is next. Position 8, into the pits goes Sully, the Ferrari. Round Vale. Into Club Corner. Setting fastest lap times of 1:28.077. Round Abbey, then turn 2. He might send it into turn 3 down the inside. He's going to go for it. Makes it stick as well. Into 4th place. Next target is Gentleman Seth. Opens DRS, uses a bit of overtake. He's gaining and gaining and gaining and gaining. Coming towards Brooklands. He goes for the send. They make contact. And KD is now into 3rd place. It was a bit of a desperate send there. It was a big send, a little bit of contact. I don't think Seth got any damage from that, but he would be a little bit rattled. KD not mucking around, he wants to get a move on. Well, what's happened? Oh, and spin! Seth into the wall! That's a big crash. Ooh, that doesn't sound good, but fortunately he hasn't retired. But him and a Renault, I believe it was a Goose Gamer, have come together. And he's spun out. He's now in 10th place. Oh, here come the other driver. He's just unghosted there. Oh, that could have been nasty. Fortunately, it wasn't. Captain Schmeg, a 3-second time penalty as well. Flavius and Nero Nix having a bit of a scrap here through Stowe. And into the pits goes the Racing Point. Just in front is the Renault, Alfa Romeo with JC. Got this battle going on here. The Goose Gamer, Snake and Beans and Captain Schmeg. All of them line astern down the Wellington Straight into Brooklands. 4th gear. Well taken. They all just following each other. Not making any sort of advances. Let's see what he can do here. Through Cops, the dirty air. They're slowing down, but the Renaults have held each other up. And Captain Schmeg has got Snake and Beans before Maggots. Now through Chapel, down the inside, which will mean the outside for the exit of Chapel. Opens DRS, uses a bit of overtake. So is the Goose Gamer, I imagine he is. I don't know why he's trying to keep the Haas at bay. He is significantly quicker. And contact! Oh, that is just unnecessary there. Oh dear. They have made contact at the exit of Stowe. They have spun each other off. Dearie me. You know, you've gotten through the hard part. Oh dear. Captain Schmeg has spun himself out. Going onto the grass. Oh, thank goodness he's ghosting. But yes, Captain Schmeg spinning out. Losing a ton of time, a ton of places. He was on for a potential podium. Safety car has been deployed as Detail has retired from the race at Maggots and Beckett's from the looks of things. Go with JC. No, it's the other Alfa Romeo of Bean who is at the scene. We'll go on board with Seppi. You see if we can't see what's going on. Lake Show, a drive-through penalty. Speeding under safety car. Where is that Red Bull? There it is there. That's a big incident. Not quite sure how he managed to do that. But Bean, he'll be coming into the pits for sure. You can't waste this opportunity. But the big question is, what does he box to? Does he box with the soft tyre or the hard tyre? Seppi will be boxing as well. Without a shadow of a doubt, he'll be boxing. But this is the key bit. Lap 15 to 20 for soft tyres. He might be pitting for softs. He is pitting for softs. Now he has to do quite a bit of racing on those. Well, actually, no, he doesn't. 3 laps on the safety car will mean they'll go back in the green flag racing at lap 18, which will mean he will only have to do 9 laps on the soft compound, which will mean that's pretty much a regular stint for the soft tyre, so they will make it easily. Same with Seppi. He's been thrown a life here. He's now in 3rd place. Easily in 3rd place, actually. The rest of the field are a long way behind. Alpoom, a 5-second penalty. Severe collision, sorry. As Snooker, what are you doing, mate? I swear people are very interesting sometimes. You can't let people past. You have to hold position. Oh. Deary me. Several drivers going onto the soft tyre. Snake and Beans onto the mediums. That's a safer call for sure, but it seems like the smarter one would be to go for the soft tyre. What is Snooker doing? It's a safety car period. Dear me. Some of the things that you get to see are just absolutely extraordinary sometimes. Seriously. Oh. You're on the safety car. Just drive on the black stuff. There's no need to push. There's no pushing. If anything, he'll do himself a favour if he boxes. He doesn't box. Because what it means is that he'll be a roadblock for when the safety car restarts. He's already a lap down. He's not going... Ooh. Bit of lag there. He's not going to lose any more positions by going into the pits and trying and getting himself out of order of these guys, because he can't interfere with this race lead. Or at the very least, wait until the field completely bunches up and go in the pit lane. Get yourself out of the way. There is absolutely no point of you staying in that position while the safety car is out. Just get yourself out of the way. Deary me. So KD is our race leader, but he has got a colossal disadvantage compared to the two behind him. Bean and Sefi. Soft tyres. They're going to be immensely quicker compared to KD. They're going to have a seriously hard time keeping... KD is going to have a seriously hard time keeping Bean and Sefi at bay. In fact, I think it's going to be completely and utterly impossible. So... the rest of the field, Gentleman Seth will have to look out for. Same with Lake Show. Same with Alp. He's going to be very quick on those soft tyres. Same with the Gus Gamer. Safety car in this lap. Oh, and it's Ben! Oh no! KD is out of the race! I do not believe it! Just as soon as the safety car was going to come in, Bean has collided with Seppi. KD is out of this race! What an unbelievable set of circumstances. He was on potentially for a podium. He's not even going to finish. What has happened? What? Did he lose it by himself? Was there contact? What happened? I'll have a look at the race director in the moment. We'll get the restart out of the way. Bean is in the lead. Sefi in second, Kimmy in third, Hildebeest in fourth place. And Snooker has not gotten himself out of the way. Fortunately, ghosting is on and he's just sent himself wide. Honestly. Drivers need to learn how to operate themselves when they're lap traffic or when they're being given blue flags. You're not important, get out of the way. It's more or less what you have to do. JST on the attack, overtaking Sully at turn 6. He's now into P8. But what happened? What happened? Let's have a look here. We'll have to scroll right down. DNF. Severe collision with Sefi. That's the only severe collision penalty we've got. And I noticed Sefi jumped up to first place ever so briefly, which meant he overtook both Bean and KD. But that is extraordinary. And he's out of the race as well. That's a massive part of that. I've seen drivers lose the lead on safety car restarts by spinning themselves out. Though I'm not sure if he's just spun himself out if there was contact. But they typically stay in the race. They might lose a number of positions, but they typically stay in the race. That's the first time I've seen a driver spin out just prior to a safety car restart. And they crash and they retire from the race. That is so incredibly unfortunate. Alpum on the assault. Oh, in contact! Between the two, a bit of a send there from Alpum. Couldn't make it stick. Lake Show turned for the corner, they made contact, and Alpum now down in 15th. Bean and Sefi, now this is the battle for the lead. Separated by 0.3 of a second. You were killed, there you go. KD has confirmed that for me. He was taken out. So there was contact between Sefi and KD, which has resulted in KD retiring from this race. Without a doubt there will be a steward's report into that. Lake Show in the pits. After only doing 2 laps on the softs, he must have damage. That's not how you want your race to go. After leading for such a long time, after driving so well, an unfortunate safety car comes out. You still maintain the lead and then something like that happens. What an extraordinary set of events. Doberman is still not in the session. His AI is just driving around doing its own thing. Battling going on between the two Ferraris. Alpine down the inside at Copse Corner. Very brave. He's got plenty of skill and he was able to pull that off. Through the high-speed S's of Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel. His next target is the AI of Doberman and then a Gus Gamer. And his teammate Snake and Beans after that. Back to the two leaders. Yeah, understandably KD isn't happy about the situation that just took place. But unfortunately it is what it is for the moment. All you can do is hand it to the stewards and see what they think. But ultimately it doesn't change the result that you're now retired from the race. That's a really irritating bit. Round Copse Corner, go the two leaders separated by half a second. When they cross the line, it'll be 6 laps to go. Down the order, side by side, Alpum and Gus Gamer. Alpum now gets himself into 10th. Oh, and runs wide. Big twitch, but he saves it. Maggots, Beckett's. Oh, and Gentleman runs wide. And what? A 5-second penalty? You're joking. What corner did he cut? Oh, and here we go. This is going to be interesting. Side by side into Stowe. Going around the long way. Alpin can't hold it. And the Gus Gamer gets them both? No, Alpin and the Gus Gamer still side by side through Vale. They're still side by side through Club. And the Gus Gamer comes out on top, only just so. Alpum's not having it. Another 5-second penalty for corner cutting and gaining a plate. What? He's got 13 seconds now. Don't know what that is all about, but okay. DRS open, a bit of overtake. Gentleman, Seth has lost a lot of time. Down the inside, the big send. That wasn't going to work, Alpum. There was no way in the world that would have worked. There was no way on planet Earth that would have worked. That gap, that door was definitely going to be closed. And he falls down to 14th place. Bean and Seffi still battling it out for the win. Half a second separate the two drivers. Actually, less than half, 3/10 of a second separate the two drivers. Heading towards Club Corner once again, 5 laps to go. And Bean has a 3-second time penalty, if I'm not mistaken. No, 5 seconds. Oh dear. So he's going to have next to no chance holding Seffi at bay, although I'm sure Mr. KD will be handing in a stewards report that might change the result. Round Brooklands, then into Luffield. Kimi isn't too far behind, 2 seconds in fact. If these two have a proper scrap, he might be able to get into the fight for the win. Lakeshore a 3-second time penalty, down in 15th place. Alpa 3-second, he's not having a fun time at the moment. DRS open for Seffi. He's not going to be close enough though. Into the Vale chicane. Gap is now half a second, but Kimi is closing. Gap is 1.7 seconds. He is on a charge. As medium tyres doing the business at the moment. Into the loop. Gap is 4:10. Seffi will get DRS again. He won't be close enough. Bean is doing a good enough job to hold Seffi at bay. Four tenths. Round Woodcote. Then Cops Corner, there's a lap car just in front of these guys. Seffi, he'll lose a little bit of time through the high speed S's. The dirty air will not help him. Now the gap is 1.5 seconds between second and third. Towards Stowe. Guskema is out of the race. He has crashed out. That's Cops. There he is there. Oh dear. Retirement number 4. 3 laps to go for the leaders. Kimi, he's right there. He's doing a superb job hanging on to these two. They have fresher, softer tyres. But Kimi getting the most out of those mediums. Keeping up, doing a good job. Seffi has to look around the long way. Bean defends. Round the outside at Luffield. Bean gives him enough space and stays out in front for now. Onto the old pit straight. Into Cops Corner. They are nose to tail. Nothing separates them. Maggots. Beckett. Now Chapel. Gap is 3/10. Running onto the grass a little bit there. DRS open. Using a bit of overtake. Is he close enough? The answer is no. Snake and Beans, a 3-second time penalty. Two laps to go. Gap is 2.5 tenths of a second. The gap to third, 2 seconds. through turn 3, then through the loop, then the flat out left-hander of Aintree onto the Wellington straight for the second last time. DRS, overtake, Bean defends. They're going to go side by side. They make contact. They make more contact. Bean goes off the racetrack. Kimi closes in. He's now 1.2 seconds behind Bean. If he can get within 1, he gives himself a massive advantage, and he now is within 1. Bean, a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. DRS open. The Mexican driver is gaining. He's using DRS and some ERS, and into Stowe we go. He's going to look around the long way. Can he get a switch back? No, he can't. He remains wide. And Kimi is now 100% in this. This is it. The final 3.6 miles of this British Grand Prix. 3 drivers in with a shot to win. Kimi properly on the back of this now. Into the loop. Bean throwing his nose left and right. And here we go, DRS open, a bit of overtake. He's going to move down the inside. Into Brooklands, he gets it done. Through Luffield, a little bit of a send there from Seffi, shows the nose. Can't get it done. Through Woodcote, onto the old pit straight. 2 tenths separate the leaders. Kimi only 3 tenths behind. He is now right behind the Williams. They side by side, actually. They make contact and they both crash. Unbelievable scenes. They crash at Maggots, and here comes Hildebeest. He has nowhere to go and he passes. There he goes. What an unbelievable set of circumstances on the final lap of the race. Seffi, a 10-second time penalty. Who's going to win this? I have absolutely no idea. It still might be Kimi. Crossing the line first is Bean. Hildebeest in second. Captain Schmegen third. Where does Kimi finish? Is he within 8 seconds of the leader? He isn't. He's half a second off. It is P2 for Kimi. After a colossal accident with Seffi at Maggots and Beckett's. Hildebeest on the podium. It's a fantastic day for Haas. P3 and 4. Jay Stee in P5. Nero Nix in P6. Snake and Bean 7th. Sully in 8th. Seffi all the way down in 9th place. After that accident at turn 10. Driver of the day given to Jay Stee. Kept his nose out of trouble and he ended up finishing in 5th place. There we go. SWM Beam with the 8 seconds worth of penalties. He still clinches the win here at Silverstone. All it took was an accident to put himself onto the top step of the podium. And boy, did he get an accident. Kimi and Seffi, that's a big one. Deary me. And Bean gets fastest lap as well, so it's maximum points for the Mexican driver. What an ending to a race that was. Kimi in 2nd, Hildebeest in 3rd, Captain Schmeg in 4th, Jay Stee in 5th, Nero Nix in 6th. Oh yeah, Jay Stee, 12 positions. That's a pretty good climb up the leaderboard, I must say. To finish in 5th place after starting from 17th. Well done. Nero Nix in 6th. Snake and Beans in 7th. Sully in 8th. Seffi in 9th. Doberman in 10th. Flavius in 11th. Gentleman Seth in 12th. Alpine finishes in the points in 13th. Lake Show in 14th. and Snooker will finish in 15th. Unbelievable, huh? Also take a quick squiz at all the warnings of people gathered over the course of the race. There are plenty. That way the stewards can also have a look at this afterwards if need be. Also all the pit stops as well. Oh, okay. I don't know how to feel about that one. It was dramatic. There was action, but some of the stuff I saw in there was a bit agricultural as well. A bit subpar, in a way. Like, but, yeah. An interesting race, to say the least. Interesting. I wouldn't go any further than that. But it's Bean who wins. An unlikely winner. 8 seconds worth of penalties. Seffi and Kimmy didn't have any, and then they took each other out at Maggots and Beckett's on the last lap of the race. I am almost certain there's going to be some heated words after this. League coordinators are probably going to have an interesting time of things. But hey, races are like that sometimes. It doesn't always go smoothly, sometimes it goes incredibly poorly. And it happens. But I believe that will conclude round 2 of the Race Spec Esports America's Championship. Next week, we'll travel over to Canada. Go over to Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. In real life, it is a superb racetrack, definitely a S-tier racetrack. It has developed some of the greatest races that we have ever seen in modern Formula 1. But in the game, it's often a mixed bag in terms of races. Sometimes it's incredibly entertaining, sometimes it's incredibly boring. For the drivers, it's also a bit of a mixed bag. Some drivers do enjoy it, and others don't. The track limits around there are particularly brutal, so that would be something that the drivers will have to look out for next week. But until then, I've been the Smeg. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next week at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. Until then, goodbye.